Hi there, Russell Cummings here. Just wanted to take you through a tool that I use and I train lots of clients to use in having difficult conversations with people. And it's called the Grotto Tool, or the Grotto Conversation Tool, developed by a colleague of mine, Dr Darryl Cross, in Adelaide, who's an amazing individual. It's a great tool. I've used it for many years. And Grotto is an acronym for the following things: goal, reality, options, direct action, obstacles, and homework. Let's just step through them. So this is a tool you use when you want to have a difficult conversation with somebody, either about a performance matter or a particular issue. I've used it to deal with issues around performance and behaviour, around personal hygiene, and also around alcoholism and other things. So really powerful tool. And the reason it's powerful is because it gets it's about focusing on the facts rather than the emotions. It gets people to take responsibility, and then it builds a bit of accountability in there as well. So it's all about building responsibility and accountability for people's actions. So difficult conversation. So to start off with a goal. So how I use this is I actually map out the conversation under these headings and that I like to have, and sometimes I have a little cheat sheet that has some of the key points in it. Now it's a conversation, so it's not an interrogation. That's really important. So it's about saying, okay, the first thing is the goal. So, morning Frank, we're here to discuss your current performance issue, and what I'd like to do is for us to both discuss it, for us to come up with some options for how we might address this going forward, select the option we like the best, and then work out what the action plan is to go ahead on that, and agree what those actions are going to be. So that's the agenda for today. Alright, so that's the goal part. The reality is where you discuss the current situation and what's happening now. And then a really important part here is that you stick to the facts. So you want to have your facts laid out really well. You don't get emotional, and you keep it around. Now, remember, this is a difficult conversation, so the whole point of it is that you actually get a resolution to that. So some of the key tricks here that you'll want to think about is stick to the facts. Don't be diverted, because people will often say, oh yeah, but he does this and he does that. Your answer to that is, that's correct, she does do that, or look, that's another issue. I'm here today to talk to you about this. So people will try and do the diversion tactics and get you to look over here, in the misdirection, I suppose, is what it really is. So what they're trying to do is misdirect you. So do that. They'll also get emotional and try and use emotion as a way of getting through it. You need to just stay the course, stick to the facts, and start saying, okay, I understand that's how you feel. Let's talk about it, but here are the facts. This is what's happening now. So stick to the facts. You have a chance to present your case. Get them a chance to present their case. Again, stick to the facts and don't be swayed by a whole heap of other stuff. So you need to be clear on this before you start, hence the planning. Once you've had the discussion around what's reality, then it's about saying, so what are the options for us to move forward? Now, the key thing is here, you need to ask the question, so what are the options? So what do you think some of the options are going forward? And then you need to keep your mouth shut until they come up with at least one or two options. Because what people will often do in this situation is say, I don't know, and then rely on you to come up with the options. All they're doing is abdicating responsibility, because all they then say is, well, it was Russell's idea, it was a stupid idea anyhow, it was never going to work. I just went along with it because he's the boss. Okay, so you want to make sure that they are contributing in this part. Otherwise, there's a great chance that you won't get anything. So you need to keep your mouth shut. So people say, I don't know, got no idea what I'm going to do, I don't know. Say, okay, things like, okay, I want you to just wildly, I want you to think of the first thing that comes in your head and tell me what it is, what we should do. Or if you were thinking of a solution, what might that solution be? What are some of the options we've got going forward? And be quite persistent about it, and don't give any of your options until they've got at least one or two on the table. Then feel free to feed your options into it. So the next area is direct action. And this is about where we decide what option you'll choose and act on. Now, it may be a relatively simple thing to choose the action that you're going to use, but if you need a more complex thing, then you can use a tool like issue ranking to help you do that. Some of the criteria you might use in issue ranking are the ones that will have the biggest impact on the issue, and that are going to be the easiest for us either to implement or make the change. Could be one of the things. Now, the real power of this Grotto model is it's a bit like force field analysis, in that you then say, well, these are direct actions, but you say, this has been an ongoing problem, so there's going to be some things that get in the way. What might stop you, or what might get in the way of us doing this? Because we've been down this road before and it hasn't worked. It could be one of the answers. And then you say, okay, so what are we going to do? So what's going to get in the way? And then you might come up with some action plans to address those key obstacles and build those into your little plan moving forward. So a one-page plan is a great way to summarize this conversation. So where are we now? Where do we need to be? What are the 3 or 4 actions we're going to take to get this thing done? The last part then, the H of Grotto, is the homework. And homework here is saying, okay, so my understanding is that you will do this, this, and this, and you will report back to me on this date. So setting the review date is really important because you want people to come back to you on a specific date. So book the date and the time then where they're going to come back to you with the thing that they need to have done. I'd also set the expectation. There's no point in telling you the day before or an hour before the appointment that they've been too busy and haven't got it done. That will not cut it at all. So you give them enough time to do the job properly and in the right time frame, but hold them accountable. You need to deliver this to me because this is an important issue. Okay, so that's the Grotto conversation. A relatively simple tool. It's about having a structured conversation to give you a desired outcome, and it's around having a difficult conversation with somebody. My experience is if you can work through the steps of this, then you actually really start to get some progress with people, and it's a very powerful process. Happy to talk to you more about it if you need any more guidance on how to deliver this tool. Okay, thanks a lot. Bye.